Motivated by 95-year-old former President Jimmy Carter, more than 1,500 volunteers deal with everything from rain and mud to sun and heat to help transform slabs of concrete into homes.
You can decide to reach out and help other people, or be stingy and take care only of yourself.
The Jimmy and Rosalind Carter Work Project highlights Nashville's true spirit, focused on making a real difference in the lives of the deserving families who will call these houses home.
They didn't know me yesterday, and they're here building my house, our house, for our family. I don't even think I have words for it.
For the next hour, we'll take you through the amazing progress, share intimate conversations with both the former president and big country names, and celebrate a week of hard work. This is Working for Your Community, the Habitat for Humanity build in Nashville. Thank you for joining us for News 4's Working for Your Community, Habitat for Humanity in Nashville special. Take a look around me, everyone. This is Park Preserve, the build site for this year's Jimmy and Rosalind Carter Work Project. In just 5 days, more than 1,500 volunteers helped turn this into this for 21 deserving homeowners, all with their own unique backgrounds. And that's where we want to start. News 4's Forrest Sanders shares the stories of these soon-to-be neighbors who all had their own reasons for turning to Habitat.
Tracy, with that, we're going to be taking you back to the week of the build and introducing you to a few of our favorite homeowners. We're practically going to be going door to door, introducing you to all these people, telling you their stories. And our first stop was quite the story to tell.
Don't think for a minute.
Hard at work.
So have we finished this one?
Brenda Wilson tells people just how important it is to wipe the slate clean. Allow yourself a new beginning. That's something she had to learn.
I'm an addict in recovery. I suffered with addiction for many years.
Brenda's new beginning came when she found a place across the city from here. Thistle Farms gives jobs to women who have lived through human trafficking, domestic violence, addiction. Brenda works here in the shop, selling beautiful things, using her story to help others.
Its purpose is to love, heal, and empower broken women like myself.
This day is part of Brenda's new beginning.
This is my new home.
The Jimmy and Rosalind Carter Work Project through Habitat for Humanity is bringing Brenda a place all her own.
It blows my mind. This is the most spectacular thing that's happened to me. I feel like my mom would be so very proud of me right now. And she saw me in my addiction, and she used to just tell me all the time how she had faith in me and how she believed that I could be a better person. She would be so excited and so happy for me.
And to someone out there who's living with drug addiction, Brenda wants that person to know you can start again with a clean slate.
Being an addict wasn't a death sentence. We do recover. This is obtainable for all of us. Invest in yourself. That's a very important thing.
A clean slate, a new beginning. That's the story of a lot of the homeowners out here. But if you just take a walk with me, a few doors up, I'm going to introduce you to someone who's not only making a better life for herself, but she's also making a better life for somebody else. Somebody she keeps very close.
I'm gonna love you forever, forever.
4 days into the build, the workout here is in rhythm.
As long as old men talk about,
Mom Brittany Scott's helping keep that rhythm going.
talk about old men.
All for her daughter Kylie, a little girl who's got a rhythm herself.
She's 4, she's a dancing machine. So I wear her on my hard hat just to keep me focused and remember why I'm doing it, because I'm paying for it, but it's for her. My window crew, I missed you guys.
I know where you've been.
Brittany's long wanted a home for Kylie. This would be the dream. A little yard somewhere, a good neighborhood, a home she owns. But in an increasingly expensive Nashville, Brittany says every step toward that dream seems to come with a setback.
Without Habitat, I wouldn't be able to move into a house and actually be able to afford it. Bye.
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 This little moment
I think I need like a doorknob.
is big for Brittany. The very first time she's closed the door on her new home. Someday soon, that door will contain new memories, plenty of space to dance. That dream becoming real. For that little girl on the back of a hard hat.
I just want her to understand that, you know, everything that I did was for her.
Forever and ever, forever and ever, forever and ever, forever and
All these stories are about journeys, but take a walk with me to just one more stop. The couple who's going to live at this home right here, their journey starts further away than literally anyone else out here. That's only part of what makes their story so special.
In 3 years, the story of Nirukundo Chantal and husband Bismana Vianney has changed in ways they once never imagined. In 2016, several months after they married, the two fled their home in Uganda due to war and traveled more than 7,700 miles to Nashville.
We came to Nashville to look for a peaceful place where we can be secured.
But the changes to Nirukundo and Bismana's story weren't finished.
Our firstborn, they're twins, one boy and one girl. The third one is a girl, so I have 2 girls and 1 son. The dream has been to get a comfortable home.
And today, every hammer strike is moving the family closer to that dream. Currently living in a 1-bedroom apartment, the couple was chosen by Habitat for Humanity for this build. They say homeowner is a powerful word. Now surrounded by people here to help, the couple says it's incredible to think of the changes of 3 years, from a marriage half a world away to building a home alongside an American president.
Without forgetting Mr. Jimmy and the Rosie Keta Work Project. We thank them so much.
Each and everyone who has spared his time or her time to come and help us build the house, we're so grateful.
All of these homeowners have stories that are so different from each other, but they're about to have 2 things in common. They're all about to be homeowners, and they're also all about to be neighbors. Tracy?
The deserving homeowners are one reason why former President Jimmy Carter and his wife have supported Habitat for Humanity for decades. Coming up, we look back at the Carter Work Project over the years, plus sit down with the namesake of the project to talk about why Habitat for Humanity has seen their support and what they hope it will do in the future. I've been here all week volunteering. I had to put a dress on to meet you.
Thanks for doing that.
And later, the big reveal. See just how much determined volunteers can accomplish in just 5 days. The amazing transformation is ahead. But first, let's hear from the Stratford High School Band, who helped close out the day by parading volunteers out of the build site on a celebratory note. Thanks for joining us. Habitat for Humanity affiliates build houses year-round. Habitat International does one special project each year, the Jimmy and Rosalind Carter Work Project. The President and First Lady have supported the organization for decades, and we're here in Nashville helping build this home behind me. Their hard work continues to motivate thousands who say, if they can do it, so can I. When Jimmy and Rosalind Carter took the Ryman stage on opening night, you could feel the power their presence was already making in Music City. It's power they've supplied to Habitat for Humanity since 1984. From Charlotte to Eastern Kentucky, Mexico to the Philippines, the Carters quickly became the face of the international organization, helping working men and women around the world own a home of their own. They call it putting faith in action, something the president preaches in his annual devotional on day one of every Carter Work project.
So we have freedom to take advantage of all the great blessings that God gives us, everyone. You can decide to reach out and help other people, or be stingy and take care only of yourself, right?
Well, you've always been known as a man of faith, and I know that Habitat is unabashedly a Christian organization.
It is. Habitat is a Christian organization for the founder because Jesus Christ was a carpenter, and I happen to have the same initials, so I wear it on my belt.
You sure do.
But Habitat has always been open to all faiths to participate equally.
Jimmy turned 95 this month, arriving in Nashville stitched up but strong.
Well, I feel good. I broke my hip a few months ago, and I've been in rehab since then. And yesterday I fell down and hurt my forehead, and got a black eye, but I'm doing well. I feel good enough to build houses.
The only two alternatives to living till you're old, you know, one of them is I won't talk about it. The other one has been because I was lucky and I married the right woman to take care of me.
His marriage to 92-year-old Rosalind, even stronger.
It's nice to come to the City of Love after loving each other for 73 and a half years, right, Rosalind, almost. We give each other plenty of space to do our own things, and we try to find things that we'd like to do together, and we concentrate on them.
So it's just a good life with children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and being happily married for 73 years.
Together, they've inspired more than 100,000 volunteers in 14 countries to join them caring for others, building community everywhere they go.
I don't think we've ever left the site without tears in our eyes, at least sometimes during the week. We weep with the homeowners when they weep for joy, getting a Bible and getting the key to their house. And so it's a wonderful thing for us.
In the last 5 years, can you think of a new habit or behavior that has improved your life?
Well, pretty much in the last 5 years I've taken up painting. And I give painting a painting to the Carter Center every year to auction off, and they bring a fantastic price. And before that I made a piece of furniture and gave a bed or a chair or a table or some fancy piece of furniture every year to the Carter Center.
What does that do for you when you're creating like that?
When I'm creating it, it's sometimes very tiresome and exciting to design a new piece of furniture and make it. And then to give it to the Carter Center and see it auctioned off is a kind of a heart-rending thing when it doesn't bring a good price. But it's also very gratifying when, you know, people get excited.
Carter's had a long-time love of music.
Salt peanuts, salt peanuts.
Taking time out of his busy schedule to enjoy what Music City has to offer.
I've got video of you singing, or at least chanting, with Dizzy Gillespie,
Yeah.
Willie Nelson over the years. What music are you listening to these days?
Well, recently we've been infatuated with country music. Tonight we're going to go to the Bluebird Cafe and hear Garth Brooks perform.
How many other Habitat home builders have we got here in the audience? Raise your hand.
That's the Carters backstage on the left at the Grand Ole Opry after closing ceremony, hoping efforts this week will leave a lasting impact.
What is a challenge that you would like to issue to all Americans and to Tennesseans watching you today?
Just to remember, affordable housing is very important because sometimes school teachers with low pay or, you know, firemen or policemen, even they earning a full-time salary can't make a down payment on a decent home for a family. Another thing I like about Habitat is that we don't give away anything except love and affection, you know, and care for one another. But they have to pay full price for the house and even put in hundreds of hours of work on a project like this.
Well, thank you for the difference you've made in our world. Mr. Carter, it is an honor to talk to you and to continue to spread the message of Habitat and to continue to change lives. And our best to Rosalind as well.
I'll tell them. Thank you very much. I've enjoyed it.
Hi, welcome. Each homeowner here at Park Preserve will move into a space like this, a blank slate for them to make their own. But before move-in day happens, there's a lot of work involved.
Let's go through this.
Spending a Thursday night learning about homeowners insurance doesn't sound like the most exciting way to spend an evening. But for these folks working toward a Habitat for Humanity home, it's just one more step in the process. Everyone interested in getting a home through Habitat starts with one of these, an application.
There's a lot of financial requirements and documents that are needed to assess if they have the ability to actually pay a 0% interest mortgage. They also have to have a housing needs, and they also have to be willing to partner with Habitat.
And that's where the classes come in. Once approved, homeowners attend a series of financial classes covering everything from how to budget to explaining what they'll be signing on closing day. And like this class, dealing with homeowners insurance and other costs associated with owning a home.
We want to make sure they get to that table on closing day with no questions and no reservations. They already know what they're signing, and it goes really smoothly.
They also have to put in some sweat equity, about 100 hours per adult that goes through the program.
Most of it's on the build site. We have great construction volunteers that will teach them, and we tell them, like, don't be shy. When you get out there, if you want to learn something, you want to try a new tool, like, now's the time to learn.
Once the home is officially theirs, then starts the life of a homeowner, following HOA rules, which each Habitat community has, paying taxes and handling home maintenance. Habitat checks in about a month later.
It's really a good time just to make sure everything they've learned is still kind of cemented and that they're going well.
It takes a lot of help from a lot of different people to pull off a project this large, many of them volunteers. Coming up, a look at a special group of volunteers who believe in the mission so much, they pay for the opportunity. And the Habitat for Humanity build in Nashville brought in politicians, music legends, and top area athletes. Coming up, why one of those athletes says he was happy to help out, but he knows he shouldn't be giving up on his day job anytime soon. And before we go to break, let's hear from the Pearl Cone High School Band. Habitat for Humanity builds, most volunteers come through corporations like these who sponsor a build day. But for the Jimmy Carter Work Project, there's a special opportunity for about 100 volunteers who actually pay to participate. News 4's Terry Bulger has the story.
You donate all this time, a week out of your schedule, you pay money, why do you do it?
And it's not a little bit of money.
I paid $1,700 to be here.
You heard him right.
For 6 days.
Rob Collette pays money to work here for free, and he's happy. Humming and nailing all day long.
Do-do-do. Oh yeah.
Brings flamingos from his Florida home to make it fun. Raised Florida's state flag 16 years ago at his first Habitat build and encouraged others to do the same. They have.
He got you cutting, that's good.
He's a neurodiagnostic technician. That means he diagnoses brain disease in his real life.
Don't bend a nail.
And wouldn't miss this.
I can't explain it why I do it, why I pay and come out here for a week, Terry. I just can't. I mean, it's a feeling. You can't explain feelings. It's a wonderful feeling, I'll tell you that though.
Of course, Jimmy Carter is here as a volunteer. Same goes for Andy Youngbluth.
Coming through, Trevor.
He drove 600 miles from Wisconsin, brought his checkbook to put homes together in the mud.
We all pay to volunteer to help build homes for deserving families.
It's all unbelievable. Kindness and progress. Talk and action.
I have these talents, and there's people out there that need homes, and everybody needs a hand up, so why not give?
Some of the volunteers here have never pounded a nail, never held a 2x4, but still they are in good hands.
No, I haven't pounded nail or anything like that. Maybe just put in some screws.
That's why Jake Kopchak's in the blue hat and his leader, Garrett Coffey, wears white. Amateurs mix with pros.
I would say I'm pretty good at this, but we have all sorts of people who are able to come out. Let it tilt back, yep. Awesome.
Some jobs don't need skill, more grit than talent.
And that goes into the slab?
Exactly.
Okay.
Before long, Jake was running a power drill.
Hey, it's pretty cool. A lot of power in your hand, you know?
If it's wrong, the house leaders let him know.
Yeah, I already got yelled at once, but it was at the beginning, so they caught it. But no, it's a great learning experience. Maybe I'll try and build my own house at some point.
All of it is safe and solid.
They're not going to have you out there standing on a rooftop without any supervision.
Houses turning into homes with a volunteer spirit.
It's all the positive energy. Everyone's out here because they want to be out here. They're out here because they want to be helpful.
Tagged wishes on 2x4s from volunteers to the new homeowners.
In total, about 1,500 volunteers cycled through this project over the course of the week. And man, did they deal with a variety of weather conditions. From a wet and muddy Monday to a hot and sunny Friday, there was one group who made sure the volunteer spirits stayed as bright as their t-shirts. While volunteers hammer, nail, and put on roofs in the hot Nashville sun, there's a group of people working to make sure everyone's spirits stay as bright as their shirts.
So this week we're responsible for picking up the garbage around the site and making sure that the water and the ice, Gatorade, everybody stays hydrated, and really any other tasks that they need us to do.
The hospitality crew at the Jimmy and Rosalind Carter Work Project is comprised of board members from the various affiliates of Habitat for Humanity. We're talking top executives from big business and even a judge experiencing a very different kind of work week.
You know, it's pretty orderly. I have dockets every day. I go in and hold courts. But when we're going about the site, it's whatever needs done. That's what we do. You know, there's no set schedule other than be here early.
The group focuses on making sure volunteers have everything they need to have a safe and happy build day because they believe in what Habitat for Humanity provides.
The idea that we can come out and help them build their house, get in an affordable, safe housing, that's the draw for it.
And they know even those serving deserve a little service as well.
Everybody needs to stay focused on the tasks that they've got in front of them, use their skill sets on site, and somebody's got to do these jobs to keep them going and keep them hydrated and snacks provided, so we're excited and happy to be here to do that.
So who might put on the Carter's shoes when they decide to step aside? We take that question directly to fellow Habitat humanitarians Garth Brooks and Tricia Yearwood. Are they next in line to carry the torch? And what working alongside the Carters has meant to them? And later, the big reveal. We show you the transformation from a group of concrete slabs to a neighborhood street. And before we go to break, the Hunters Lane High School Band brought a lot of pizzazz to their parade, ushering volunteers out for the day. Thanks for joining our Working for Your Community Habitat for Humanity special here on News 4. Some big names in Nashville are like Jimmy and Rosalind Carter, Habitat humanitarians. I'm talking about Garth Brooks and Tricia Yearwood. They began volunteering with Habitat after Hurricane Katrina and haven't looked back. And as they worked on this house behind me, they told me this year's project in their home city feels special.
Would you please make welcome a member of the Country Music Hall of Fame and a star of the Grand Ole Opry, Mr. Garth Brooks, along with Grand Ole Opry star, Miss Tricia Yearwood.
From the length of the applause at the Grand Ole Opry, you might be inclined to call Garth Brooks and Tricia Yearwood co-presidents of country music. They've certainly had some quality inspiration lately, working side by side with the real thing.
I'm the Georgia girl, so I get the honor of introducing them. You will not find a better example of the kind of humanitarian to be, the kind of human being to be, the kind of couple to be. We are honored to introduce them to you tonight. And I will tell you that I know you know them as the President and Mrs. Carter, but I just call them friend. This is Jimmy and Rosalind Carter.
The two power couples have partnered on habitat builds for more than a decade now.
The first build we did was in New Orleans after Katrina, and it was a couple of years after Katrina, and there was still just devastation. And we went to do some photo ops and some interviews, and we were going to be there for an hour, I think. And we saw the President and Miss Rosalind really building this house, and we picked up a hammer and we stayed all day. We fell in love with Habitat that day. That's why, to me, Habitat is so special. It's a hand up, not a handout. That's one of my favorite slogans of Habitat.
Are you ready to take the torch, pick up the torch from them when they're ready to pass it along?
No one will be able to carry that torch. You know, there's something about, even if you don't see them and you know they're here working, you feel differently, that they bring something to the table that I don't think we could bring. No offense to us, you know, they're special in what they've done in the world, the way they've been ambassadors throughout the world for love and peace and tolerance, all the things that they do. But to work alongside them has really inspired us to try to be better at that and to try to do what we can do, which is different from them, but it's what we can do.
Yeah, there's a common myth that they think Miss Rosalind and Jimmy started Habitat for Humanity, but they joined it. Just like we're going to join it, and we have joined it, but the Carter build should live forever, whether the Carters are here or not. No offense to us that the Garth Brooks, Tricia Yearwood name will never be on it. As long as it's the Carter build and we can help that, count us in.
Volunteers will tell you it's pretty cool seeing Garth, known for swinging from stadium rafters, building them instead. Tricia, with that powerful voice, working power tools like a pro.
Of all the Habitat builds that we've been fortunate enough to be on, this is our favorite one already, because we're going to be sleeping in our own bed at the end of this, which is great.
Every time we've been to another city or another country, people have said, thank you for coming to our community. And when it's your community and you get a chance to see the need here, you really get it. You just want to say thank you to Habitat for coming here, because affordable housing is at the top of the list of topics here.
Because, I mean, we could talk about, you know, Memphis, Nashville, and Knoxville all day. We're doing good. It's those local affiliates that are in those smaller towns that really need that help, and that's where this money's really going to come to, because affordable housing shouldn't be just for the 3 major cities in this state. It should be for every citizen here.
They're so at home, the build even seeps into their music from time to time.
I'm the least rhythmic guy on the planet, but every now and then somebody will start hammering and you'll be going, hey, I like it. That works. I like that beat.
But as they proved when they photobombed our News 4 live shot, they are the first to call volunteers the real stars.
These people are all angels walking among us.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
And love is what the couple who married in 2005 say religion is really all about.
So the thing is this, it might not be politically correct right now, that still, no matter how much the wind howls, the mountain cannot bow. Right? Stay on your path. You profess your faith, because faith without practice is not faith. And just do your best. I couldn't carry a Christian's shoelaces, but if you get up every day and get in the game, that's what it's all about.
And it's about love. You know, there's a lot of examples in every religion of who you want to be and who you don't want to be, you know. And I think it's all just about loving one another. That's what God is.
To be the hands and feet of God, that's Habitat's mission, modeled by the Carters, inspiring Garth and Tricia, all rallying fellow servants to help change the world.
I think the biggest advice that I've given is, even at a young age, you know what is best for you. That little voice inside knows what's right from wrong for you, what's best for you. And when we're young, especially in this industry, when you want to be successful, if someone that you think knows more than you says, well, you really should do it this way, or you should wear this, or you should look this way, or you should record these songs, whatever that is, and you think, well, they probably know better than I do, but they really don't. And if you can learn that at a young age, to trust your gut, It's easier as you get older, but it's hard. It's hard when you're young because you want it so badly. I think that's the best advice for me.
I gotta say, with raising 3 daughters, we're all kind of waiting there. All this young generation seems to be waiting to jump in the water. You gotta jump in. You gotta make mistakes. So this isn't your perfect job. Jump in it, and guess what's going to happen? You're going to meet somebody you didn't plan on meeting. They're going to talk about a job you've never thought of, and that's going to become the love of your life job. It just is, man. There is no perfect go to college. This is your degree, so now I'm going to wait until this job opens up. You're going to be waiting your whole damn life. Jump in, man. Make your mistakes. Remember, we're all human. Social media is not real. Let them pile up on top of you, but nothing's going to happen to you. Get out there and make those mistakes. Start living.
On behalf of all of us here at Channel 4 in Nashville, thank you.
Thank you.
Isn't this cool? It's happening here at home.
It's awesome.
Isn't that fabulous?
Volunteers come in all shapes and sizes and celebrity. You can bet a project this big, supported by big names like Jimmy and Rosalind Carter, Garth Brooks and Trisha Yearwood, is sure to garner additional star power. Our own Joe Dubin shows us how professional athletes made time on their day off to give back.
This is something different for us, and but it's awesome to be here. It's such a great cause, so we're glad to be here and help out.
Nashville Predators captain Roman Josi makes his living swinging a stick, but he gladly put that down to pick up a hammer to help build a house.
We just got here like an hour ago in the afternoon, so I mean, there's been so much done already, and just to see all the people helping, all the volunteers, it's pretty unbelievable. It's a real cool thing. We're assisting, definitely. I mean, we're taking orders from the boss, and he's telling us what to do, and we try to execute it.
And the captain brought the newest Predator along with him, Matt Duchesne, who is used to making assists now on and off the ice, even if sometimes they are not perfect.
You know what? I haven't swung a hammer too much. I've done a lot back, like a little bit back home, more with like a drill and stuff like that. So I'm a little bit more handy that way. I was hoping that's what I would be doing, but you gotta get the nails in these things. So yeah, I bent the first nail. It was a bit of embarrassing. It was on the wrong side of the thing for somebody who's right-handed, but getting the hang of it a little more as we go here.
I'm just enjoying it, meeting new people out here. Everybody's been pretty nice though.
And then on another day, the Titans rookies showed up to serve lunch to all the volunteers. But the guys say they were the ones who were honored to help out.
Yeah, that's why I say it's just an honor to be here. You know, some people, you know, ain't fortunate in life, but, you know, like I said, just giving back in my community, you know, in Nashville now, you know, it's a great feeling. So.
Oh yeah, it's a good feeling. They do it back home in Georgia, so I got to be a part of the one back in Georgia. So it was good just seeing other people trying to help out.
Man, it really gave me goosebumps, to be honest with you. To be able to walk off the bus and everyone clapping, cheering, stuff like that. It's really so real. It's a cool moment for sure.
You know, just the time I've spent in Nashville, the support that this city and the community has for us. You know, it's important. It's vital that we, you know, turn that back around, and we show our appreciation for their support in what we do, and you know, in any way that we can help this community or help this city, we should.
Despite the big names and celebrity appeal, Habitat for Humanity's mission is a serious one.
This city is experiencing incredible growth, and Nashville has been identified as among the top 5 U.S. cities on the verge of a housing crisis.
Coming up, details on the new nationwide push by Habitat for Humanity to increase affordable housing, plus the major pledge made by Garth Brooks and Trisha Yearwood to help further that mission. And it wouldn't be a Music City event without music. How music played a role all week long.
Woody's Roundup, right here every day. Woody's Roundup, come on, it's time to play. There's Jessie the yodeling cowgirl, yodelay, yodel, yodelay, yodelay. Bullseye, he's Woody's horse. He's a smart Pete the old prospector.
Here, a special treat for you. This is the story of some homeowners who are also newlyweds. Listen in. The couple that builds their house together stays together. At least that's what the Riddles believe.
We got to drive the first nails in, so like we were the first ones to use any tools on the site, which was great.
It was a high learning curve, but it was a lot of fun.
She's so hot. It's great. I love watching my wife work.
The newlyweds blended their families together 7 months ago, including 3 children, ages 11, 4, and 2. And while they're full of smiles now, their journey has not been an easy one.
In 2016, my life was completely shattered when my first husband passed away unexpectedly. A week later, 2 days after the funeral, I found out that I was pregnant with our son.
As Erica struggled to raise her 2 children alone, Neil also struggled to provide a stable home for his child.
After that, I just had friends who just let me stay with them as long as they could let me.
With your son?
With my son.
Now, life as a married couple does offer more stability, but not a place to call home. That is, until they earned a 0% mortgage on this home through Habitat for Humanity.
Having this house is so important for my kids to just be able to grow up in a place that's theirs, that they know is safe and that they know isn't going anywhere.
So this is our house.
The pair showed me around with pride, even though much of the home still only exists in their minds. Yeah, have you decorated it yet?
We have some graph paper we've drawn out. For a couch over here, TV in the corner.
As they dream of how to make this house a home, they also dream of paying it forward.
Generous, and just having the lowered cost of living, like we'll be able to take care of other people who are going through stuff.
You don't need to see the cranes dotting the Nashville skyline to know this city is booming. But that boom is creating a strain on those already living here to afford a place to call home. It's one of the reasons why Nashville was chosen as the 2019 Jimmy and Rosalind Carter Work Project. But Habitat's efforts to improve affordable housing aren't stopping with just building homes. Out on the build site, former Governor Bill Haslam may have said it best.
You know, when you have a big problem like affordable housing, it's not one thing. It's not a, it's not a silver bullet. It's a silver buckshot, if you will.
Habitat for Humanity hopes their first ever national advocacy campaign will be a piece of that silver buckshot. It's called Cost of Home. Its goal, increase affordable housing for 10 million people in the U.S. over the next 5 years.
There are nearly 39 million households who are severely cost burdened in terms of their ability to afford housing.
We're looking at a number of different policy solutions, from increasing the supply of affordable housing, increasing access to credit, optimizing land use for affordable housing, and building more communities of opportunity across the country.
They're also getting support here in Tennessee, thanks to a pledge from country star Trisha Yearwood during a tour of the build site for state lawmakers.
We would like to, as a couple, match that up to a certain number.
She and husband Garth Brooks promised to match funds earmarked by legislators for Habitat for Humanity, knowing those funds will reach beyond Music City.
It put a little pressure on us in the General Assembly to match, some grant funds. So that's certainly something we will look at, because it's a great organization, and they do such awesome work.
It's those local affiliates that are in those smaller towns that really need that help, and that's where this money is really going to come to, because affordable housing shouldn't be just for the 3 major cities in this state. It should be for every citizen here.
All those involved admitting, much like building a Habitat for Humanity house, it will take a lot of hard work from a lot of different types of people to make real progress quickly. The Carter Work Project isn't without a spirit of fun. Coming up, we take a look at the musical score of the project, from opening to closing ceremonies and everything in between. And speaking of music, here's the Whites Creek High School Band celebrating another end of a hard work day. Here at the Grand Ole Opry, where volunteers celebrated a week of hard work. and that includes a special show here at the Opry. It's no surprise, between President Carter's love of music and the project being held here in Music City, music played a strong role throughout. News 4's Terry Bulger takes a closer look and listen.
Garth Brooks and his wife Tricia Yearwood started the week with song, the Mother Church's Spirit kicking off a spiritual week in Nashville. A week that, of course, ended in song, too. You'd sense that for 5 days, Habitat mixed with harmony and never missed a beat. The sounds you hear all day on a worksite are not music to the ears, but loud and jarring leads to progress. Still, Habitat leaders knew Nashville could do better.
As much as he loves me, someday soon, going with him someday soon.
Every day, the lunch menu included music. Hard Hat Workers and Susie Bogus one day.
So give old Tennessee credit for music, 'cause they play it up in Nashville every day.
Chuck Mead without his Grassy Knoll Boys the next. A Music City thank you to the volunteers.
That's one. Thank you, guys.
Everybody was wonderful and seemed to be happy to have somebody come out and entertain. So for me, it's like I'm amazed that all these people get together and do this community thing.
He's the rootin'est, tootin'est cowboy in the wild, wild west.
The worksite felt like a 1930s home build when the nation moved west. So Riders in the Sky with their Western cowboy sound fit right in. A thankful crowd of the most positive, willing to give people you'll ever meet.
Forever and ever, forever and ever, forever and ever.
Made sense that songwriter Don Schlitz would thank them with his Randy Travis hit.
What a week of hard work, good music, and positive spirits. Coming up, we'll show you just how much can be done with all that hard work. The amazing transformation is ahead. But first, Maplewood High School helped close out the week in a musical fashion as well. Take a listen. Unfortunately, the opportunity to volunteer at this particular work project is over, but that is not the case for future builds.
You're not through in Nashville. There's a lot more houses to be built. I think you raised money for 59 houses, I've been told. So Habitat is going to need volunteers here in Nashville for years into the future.
If you're a dunce with a drill, feel like a hack with a hammer, or a nitwit around a nail gun, don't let that scare you from a Habitat for Humanity build site.
So we have our amazing core of volunteers, our supervisors on site, that are volunteers that are trained in building our homes, and they will teach you anything you want to know.
Habitat for Humanity leaders say many volunteers come with little or no construction background, and that's okay. volunteers generally come through one of two ways. One route, an employer, business, or organization sponsors a day of the build and supplies 20 to 25 volunteers.
That money goes towards purchasing the building materials for the home, and they get to swing a hammer right next to that family that's achieving that dream of home ownership.
The second route, a Habitat partner may sponsor the day, but opens it up to the community. Habitat leaders say even though most projects aren't as accelerated as the Carter Work project, it's still a speedy process.
We build our houses over 8 days, over 4 weeks.
And I can tell you that working with Habitat is never a burden. It is always a blessing. Thank you very much.
We end where we started, here at Park Preserve. There's still work going on here over the next several months. Expert craftsmen will come out here to complete things like plumbing and electrical work. All of the homeowners should be moved in by early 2020, but that doesn't diminish the amount of progress made. Drone 4 gives us a bird's eye view of the project's progress from slab to home. Take a look at what more than 1,500 volunteers can do with just 5 days. And here are a few fun facts. Habitat tells us workers use nearly 3,000 2x4s, about 1,600 pounds of nails, and installed close to 1,800 walls in these 21 homes. Truly incredible work to watch over the course of the week. News 4 will follow up as homeowners get their keys. We hope you'll continue to join us as we tell the stories of the people, charitable organizations, and efforts being made to work for your community. I'm Tracy Cornett. We'll see you next time.
I was standing by my window